The Tamil community has called for the Prime Minister to refer himself and senior ministers for investigation into alleged breach of ministerial standards over statements claiming all children were out of immigration detention. The government says the comments are being taken out of context and refer to when all children were released in 2016 and not those recently in detention.
Now, on my watch, nobody has drowned at sea, and I've not sent a single person to Manus or Nauru. I got all of the children out of detention.
Federal ministers spruiking their policy successes over Labor.
When we came into office in 2013, we said we would put in place the right policies to ensure that we stop the boats, we stop the deaths at sea, we got the children out of detention.
Including the Prime Minister ahead of the 2019 federal election.
We were able to secure our borders and ensure that ultimately we've got every child out of detention.
The comment surprised Pal Chiambaram.
He said we got all children out of detention, which was untrue, because not only myself, the entire Australia knew that these children were in detention.
He asked Home Affairs how many were in detention at the time of Mr Morrison's comments. Its response?
Children still in immigration detention facilities, as said, 21st of February 2021, less than 5.
Mr Chiambaram wrote to the PM for a correction.
This is a clear breach of ministerial standards, because clearly the public have been misled, the Parliament has been misled, and we gave an opportunity to rectify. That did not happen either.
Tanika and Kopika of the Bilo Tamil asylum-seeking family were released this June after being detained in March 2018. That makes June this year a very significant month, the first time in 5 years since before the 2016 federal election that there were no children in detention, according to Home Affairs' own statistics. But there was no government fanfare. The last time was in May and June 2016, when the coalition released the last of more than 1,000 children still detained under the previous Labor government. The PM and ministers declined to comment, but a government spokesperson said those statements were made in the context of Labor's border policy failures. It would be inaccurate to take those comments out of context by implying they are a reference to the composition of the immigration detention network on the day they were made. Scott Morrison's ministerial standards require ministers not to mislead the public or the Parliament, and any error or misconception is corrected or clarified as soon as practicable.
It's completely at the Prime Minister's discretion, so it's not a legally enforceable document.
Associate Professor Yifu Ang specialises in government accountability.
Misleading Parliament historically has been seen as a hanging offence, so one that ministers do tend to resign over.
Our policies have worked in getting all children out of detention.
We've done it in a way that hasn't seen children go back into detention.
Isabella was born in immigration detention in March 2018 and released in August 2020. The Greens say there is a case to answer.
There's no doubt that on the face of it, minister after minister, including the Prime Minister, have misled the Australian people and also misled the Parliament.
The Tamil community has vowed to continue pursuing their claim.
We are expecting the Prime Minister and the ministers to do the honourable thing.
Stefan Armbruster, SBS World News.